moved to find an ORP. On our way back from that, we discovered we were actually right on top of the ambush site. So I sent in a security team where I wanted my ambush site at, and I dispatched my squads into the wood line. I got Jay and the other gentleman with the mine. Who was that?
Port.
Yep. To place their mines, and then everybody moved into the tree line. We waited for enemy contact.
How was your enemy contact?
How was it?
I mean, did you make contact with them?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, you're reporting into your activities.
Contact was made. I counted about 4 before initiating fire. We had several casualties right off the bat, and I would say within maybe a minute or two, I dispatched my assault element to sweep and clear the area. They pursued a gentleman for probably 20-30 yards and reported back that everybody is dead as far as they know.
Okay. Approximately how many enemy do you think you killed?
If I had to guess, I want to say about 3 or 4 is what I feel like. It's the right answer.
5 to 6.
5 to 6?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Good deal. How many casualties you take?
I counted 3, so that's what I counted.
All right. So you had to pay for this victory.
Yeah.
All right. Straight up. Okay. Good report. Thank you. All right. Now we'll drop and launch into the AAR. So, job well done, gentlemen. Job well done. Let's just get that out there right away. You know, from the point of the OPFOR, we're all in agreement. We saw excellent violence of action. We saw good command and control. You know, really the only gig we got, we'll get into it later, is your comms suck. But that's not the important part right now, but I wanted to get that out there. That was damn good. All right, so picking someone at random. Young Jay, thank you for volunteering.
Of course. Very last.
You heard your patrol leader describe his mission. And so, was that your understanding of what the mission was to be?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying you understood you were to go out, ambush an enemy force.
Yes.
It's dark.
And have complete annihilation of the enemy.
Complete annihilation, outstanding. All right, anybody here had a different impression of what you were supposed to go out and do tonight? Anybody just didn't have a clue what you were supposed to go do tonight? All right, outstanding. All right, gonna put somebody else on the spot. Eeny, meeny, miny, miny, Kevin. From your perspective, what was your position in the unit? What were you supposed to be doing?
So my fire team and I were the support element of the ambush.
Okay. And what did you see from your side?
So we hit the ORP, got to the ambush point, sat down, watched. When the shooting started, we also shot.
Okay. All right.
We took 1 casualty.
What enemy did you see?
Muzzle flashes.
Okay. Just muzzle flashes?
Yeah, they were skyline for a little bit too, but
Okay.
I just saw muzzle flashes.
Okay. All right. Who here, show hands, who had nods of some type?
Thermal count?
Yeah, it's a nod. Okay, so you had pretty good amount of nods in the thing. Okay, hands down. Those of you that did not have nods, did you see the enemy before the shots went off?
No.
Okay, I'm getting some shaking yes and some shaking no. Okay, you said you saw a skyline.
Yep.
Is that what you saw too, Cochran?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So you knew they were coming.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Anybody want to guess why we came down the trail as an enemy force? Remember, the enemy force was told they were trying to get back to their lines. Why do you think they were on the trail?
Trying to move fast. Trying to move quiet.
Trail? Fast? What was those woods you were in like?
It's very awful.
Imagine trying to move clicks and that crap?
It's most great.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, Hunter? Yeah. Talk good about your boys. Tell me what your boys did good.
I think communication was on point. I think once everybody got set and they're in the line, the ambush was executed very well. I think everybody's roles. It felt like everybody understand what they were doing with their roles, respective, where you're supposed to be at. Yeah.
All right, that's some good comment. Is there anybody out there just didn't have a clue what they were supposed to be doing? All right. So would it be fair to say that extra time we gave you made a difference?
Big difference, yes.
All right. All right. So time to work out all your deconfliction. All right. Good shit. Good shit. Joe.
Yo.
What's something you think didn't go well?
At the end, I was dead, so I was able to kind of detach a bit, look away from the higher spot from heaven where I was. And anyway, I just saw Harris was trying to get control of the guys, and the guys were doing their own kind of little powwow at the end, all the way at the end, after we had moved through the objective and all that. But it's okay. I don't think it was what you intended to. So there were some things that were like an extra. Guys were extra, but that's okay. I don't fucking know
what you wanted to do.
I don't know, I was dead, so.
The ambush was initiated and completed, and we're going to be on our way out of that point back to base. I would have liked to more control exfil, but that worked out.
All right. Did you lose anybody?
During the ambush, we did, yes.
Okay. Who got lost?
Oh, lose anybody? I thought you meant like shot.
We get lost. We got lost.
Yeah, that was.
We got told to pull security, and pulling security, and all of a sudden there's no one around us, and no one's coming over the comms to us, so we had to break radio silence and contact him.
Okay. All right. So that's a little bit of a plan that fell apart. How fast did it take you all to realize you had lost an element?
So on our way out, there was quite a bit of confusion with the direction I wanted troops to move. I got up to, I established a halt just outside the fob, got a head count, and realized that we were going to end up being short because we only had right over half the element.
Can I add to that loss thing? Just because I didn't consider that actually, so I didn't say like, hey, if I go down, here's who's in charge of second. So second, one of my guys, I would have, if I was alive, obviously I would have been able to be accountable for them. But because I was dead and I didn't say, hey, this is who's in charge once I go down, kind of got left because no one was running.
I try to pick it up.
Valuable lesson there, guys. And so let me take it real world for a second. Okay, you're playing your part in the role because this is a simulation. No harm, no foul there. But okay, real world, guys, we're training, we're learning, and we're having fun. You're allowed to have accountability and speak up, even though you're a dead man, to say, hey, my people are accounted for. Okay? Because we don't want people wandering around lost. You know, I've heard horror stories in the years past out in Missouri where they've had people walk 6 miles off the CMTC.
They made a movie about it.
You know? So, you know, you're allowed to go real world and that type of stuff.
Okay.
Like, to give an example, Stuart, put your hand up. Okay, I'm dead guy, right? But I wanted to move around. I communicated what it did so I didn't fuck up what he was got going on. So you can put your hand down now. You know, but that's one of the things you can do is when you have to communicate as a dead guy and we're out there on the FTX, you definitely can do that. Especially when a leader's trying to get accountability, you know, and they're calling out your name and you're dead. If somebody's going, Joe, 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 you go, I'm dead. You know, then that tells your leader that, okay, Joe's dead, but he's not dead.
Right.
But you see how we stress and stress and stress accountability. Accountability.
Yeah.
All right, so real world, you're going to take some casualties. Somebody's got to have that chain of command, somebody to step up and say, all right, unfortunately he's in heaven or hell, whichever. I got to make sure it could be the fire team leader, and now there's 3 freaking dudes just stumbling around with no direction. That's when somebody needs to step up and get accountability.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our one thing at One Shepherd. You can always, dead or alive, you can always contribute to accountability.
I just don't want you to think I was trying to give you guys the impression I was like, I'm dead, I'm done here.
No, I'm
They were
just
just doing the last thing we probably told them to do, and then
Yeah.
there's no harm, no foul there.
Right.
You know?
When we were moving out, the concern that I had was I had no knowledge as to how many enemy KIAs there were or how many were left, and if we were going to get ambushed, on our egg field back by ourselves and nothing but fire team.
Well, in the real world, you do worry about that. You never assumed you killed every motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, you might see 6
And you're
guys in
probably
your
trained,
scope
but
and you
I'm
might have
thinking-
6 bodies,
Yeah.
but the other fire team that was following 200 meters behind him just saw a firefight and they might be itching for revenge.
Yeah.
So no, you maintain security until you're back into, you know, you're safe. So not wrong thought at all.
And I gotta apologize because I think I vaguely remember him asking me something, and I asked him to rally up the rest of the guys on that flank, and I guess I got sidetracked and started trying to corral others and moving out without notifying that we were also leaving. So
That happens. Good lesson to learn though.
yeah, it is.
All right. We don't have a lot to harp on here, guys, so I'm going to start the sweep right now. Dave, something good or bad, doesn't matter which.
Something good, I would say, was the orderly fashion we got over to our ORP.
Okay. Kevin, how about you?
I like to see one good, one bad.
Go for it.
It was sexy watching those guys sweep through. Like, it was just straight up, like, cool. See those muzzle flashes, hearing everyone call comms and stuff like that. The bad, I seen it a couple times now, where it's like kind of like it's just fucking weird how we cross danger areas where someone will be crouching, covering the danger area, and then the guy behind him will tap him, and then this guy will go cross,
Yeah.
and then the other guy will like do that. That's happened twice today now, and I don't know how to say how wrong it is. I didn't want to be like, fucking stop. So I just told everyone, hey, go past me. I'll be the tail end, Charlie, and just to kind of get people in the right direction. But
Yeah, it was different than how we practiced.
yeah.
Okay, here's one thing about that, guys, and I'm sure all my former military guys will agree with me. We could spend a whole week on crossing danger area, do nothing but that. And many of us have spent a whole week doing just that. Okay? So the fact that it didn't go perfectly sounds like it went good enough.
It went good enough, yeah, it did. It led to a lot of confusion because I lost sight of my guys without nods. I had no idea where they were, and had to go back and
I
find them.
thought the same thing when I saw that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I lost one of my fire team members as well. And
so like that contributed to a lot of confusion.
Well, hey guys, look, it's balls ass dark out there.
Yeah.
You know, I think those of us with Gen 3 were struggling. You Gen 2 guys were probably debating their utility. You know, I mean, passive night vision is required to have some kind of light to work with. We'll get to you in a minute, okay? Cochran, one good, one bad, or both? Doesn't matter.
I personally can work on LSW employment, like using it effectively.
This is your first semester with us, right?
No, second.
Second? Okay. All right. No problem. You know, it comes with time.
Hopefully you get plenty of practice.
Exactly. You? Sorry about names.
No worries. Something good, just to reiterate the violence of action during the ambush itself. Something that we could work on is noise discipline when waiting in the ambush.
Okay. I gotta say, J-Rob did hear you guys at one point, but I don't think any of us else on the patrol picked up anything auditory. Am I wrong in that statement, guys? Nope. Okay, so if you felt you know, there you go. Shane, how about you, man?
I think excellent discipline from everybody. I just felt the tension building when I saw those black silhouettes just coming down the road through the nodes. Just waiting for the magic moment, really.
Yeah, that is the most nerve-wracking point because you probably want to go, I see somebody, I want to shoot him!
It was impressive.
Oh, just waiting. Yeah.
Now, your chance, man. Thanks for your patience.
I just want to say something about the danger crossing. Yeah, it got kind of screwed up, but I mean, leadership fixed that extremely quick. They recognized right off the bat. We all got mixed in. We took the security halt that we needed to, and very quickly, team leaders had their people right back into where they were supposed to be.
All right. Kudos on you guys. Doing that in the dark, that's an accomplishment. See?
I think it went pretty well. I was out on the right flank, so I didn't see much of the action other than J-Rob. So I didn't get to see much of the action. I did hear some kind of, it seemed like it got a little out of control listening to it, the assault through. But other than that, I can't complain. I think it went well.
Well done. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, you're something good, something bad. Or both, doesn't matter.
Good. Well, we first got over to, we made a rally point that formed up, and then we pushed out, did recon myself with PL and the guide and 2 others. We rather quickly established what we wanted to do. We were going to set up. We got back to the rally point, so that flowed smooth. Bad, at least for me, there was some confusion because I was the RO for the PL, but then he had me post security, and it being dark, I never was able to link back up with him fully until the end of the firefight, so I was kind of lost for a while. And I found at one point he says I go to the back, so I was like out of sorts of what was going on a bit with what I needed to relay or what needed relayed.
Okay. Hey, Commander, one of your prerogatives is to put your people wherever you want them to.
Okay.
And a lot of times at One Shepherd, we're all wearing a couple hats out there on a patrol. But when you've got this many people, you never let your RTO get more than an arm's length away from you.
Roger.
Okay, because that is your main link, and he's super important to you. Also, you know, that enables him, you go down, he can then go find your second in command and tell them, you're down, you're in charge now.
Gotcha.
All right, good stuff. Chris, what you got, man?
Bad. After the first danger crossing, I briefly lost, or not lost, but lost accountability on 2 people. I had Steve and Porch, who I think I thought were at the front of the column, but they were separated by a few people, and it took me to the next security halt to make sure that I had everybody. So that was no bueno to start the mission. Something good. We were right flank security. We realized immediately that when they initiated, we had people to our right because they had walked, the point element had walked past us. And I think we had all 5 guns blazing because we wouldn't have opened up if everybody was in the kill zone because we were security, but we knew we had a threat right, and all my guys just went hog wild on the threat to the right, so that was good.
Pretty sure one guy got now.
Did I get any of you?
No.
How about you?
So I'll start with bad. I think I would echo the stuff on the linear danger crossing. Like, I think part of that, it looked like when we were setting up, I was expecting a 360 defense to form right after linear danger crossing to wait for the rest of the crossing. And I think people were bunching up and moving past each other, and that's how the froth of people where we lost cohesion. And again, it was fixed relatively quickly, so that was good. The good, when attempting to set up the right side security position, we recognized really quickly that the dinosaur land was unbelievably thick, and so I got actually tangled and like had to strip myself out. And so the adaptation of path through that dinosaur land went really quickly. We actually like realized, don't go there, go here. We had some of our guys with nods guide us into where we needed to be, and posted us up in our final position.
All right, so, well done. Jason, give me some good and bad.
Yeah, so I think on the good side, it's pretty clear we got set up at the ambush position with everybody doing their roles, and like people who weren't supposed to assault didn't assault, and didn't ceasefire when we didn't need to, and that's all pretty good. I did get lost. I think I lost my entire team briefly somewhere in these linear danger crossings, and they found me and got me back over with them before we got to the ambush site. And I did really kind of struggle with like the night vision and thermal technology. Like, it actually makes it harder sometimes to see what the heck you're looking at.
Yeah.
Like who the people are.
Technology works both directions, guys.
So
technology works both ways. All right. So you were very specific in our afternoon AR about some problems. Did you see those problems get fixed, or are they still there?
I think they are substantially fixed, but I mean, if you look at the linear danger crossings people are talking about, it's like this happens all the time, and we still don't have a plan for it that we just do, and that's a communication thing. That's something that
All right. Go ahead, man. You got good or bad?
Well, you can't have good without bad in a situation like
Fair
this.
enough.
Is normal. We cleared our objective. We completed our mission with success. Took some casualties, but all in all, I thought it went rather well. To reiterate on what some others have said, our fire team went out. The rest of us that were pulling security did not move out like last time. That was good. We had good communication. Leadership stepped up, did their part, kept everybody in order as best they could, and it went very well in my opinion. Bad is just still a little bit of the communication after the adrenaline wears off. I understand that, you know, adrenaline hits people differently, and everyone got excited once the rounds started popping. And when the fire team advanced, they kind of, as you heard, left some people behind.
All right, take it. Point, go ahead, man. What you got?
Kind of related to the stuff. So we were the left flank security for those who didn't know, but we stayed behind. But after the assault force went through, there was like a ton of like smoking and joking and like people like just bullshitting. And we heard very clearly from the PL like, stay, you know, hold security. And so we did, obviously a long time. But then the smoking and joking stopped and everybody was gone. And it was like, all right, we're still holding security. And then, you know, finally we got in touch with somebody. But the bullshitting for no reason while the mission was still going on kind of like really, I don't know what the
Probably contributed to you getting left behind, didn't it?
Tumble effect, a snowball.
Hey, what the guys talking about this left behind? Again, my veterans will confirm, kind of a common problem. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think it was pretty well executed. You know, it was hasty and with as little preparation and practice as we had to go through. It was still great what we had, but like you said, a long time of developing some of these techniques would be necessary to perfectly execute, I believe. But I think we did a good job. We were left security, but we actually did quite a bit of fighting because your position ultimately ended up being really advantageous for us to take shots at you. So we ended up doing quite a bit of shooting right there, but felt like it was the right thing to do at the time.
Obviously it was. You guys got kills. Reed, talk to me now.
All right. So one bad I saw was very, very bad in my opinion. There was a lot of separation, not just after the firefight, but beforehand. On the way to the ambush site, my squad was pretty much tailing Charlie. On the way to our security halt, right before we moved to the ambush area, I saw at least two high importance command members go back the way we fucking came alone to retrieve either a person, which is even worse, or a piece of equipment. And then after the firefight and I got my fucking brains blown out saving my buddy, I saw it happen again, but with one man.
Killing you is becoming a common thing.
This is
Hey, I'm alive.
Everybody shut up.
Hey, let him speak.
All right, look, everybody, yeah, get your fucking laughs in. Yeah, I'd rather I die than somebody else, but yes. I saw not just them get left behind, but I'm not picking on anybody. I saw in at least 2 instances, there could have been more, a high-ranking command member go off by themselves to do something that, quite frankly, I don't want to sound like a sadist here, but a more expendable grunt could have gone and done.
All right, so I'm going to question your terminology there, but you bring up a good point. Earlier today and stuff, what do you do by yourself?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nobody as a soldier is capable of doing anything by themselves. People that do get medals of honor. We don't give them out very often. You don't do anything by yourself, so take that lesson to heart. If you got to go find somebody, take somebody with you. Okay? Good points, Reed. Good points. Okay, what you got, man?
So, good. Doing any of this in the dark is complicated. You could have nods and thermal, but getting everybody rallied to the right position in there is hard. I think that was executed pretty well. You know, the bad. I'm going to go ahead and take kind of responsibility for you guys getting left behind. I had asked Harris for orders. He told me to scan the tree line for anybody that was there. I thought I went down far enough. I obviously did not, and I also probably should have yelled a lot louder. So that's my apology on that.
You know what? This AAR is about redemption. Doc Lasham will say that is the exact purpose of AAR. Okay, you know what not to do again. Okay, now we know where the disconnect came from. All right, so this is all part of the accountability question. If you go looking to see if anybody's there, if you can find out, know who you're looking for.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Kevin, what you got, man?
I should think, particularly with our assault element, with very little serious direction, they managed to place everybody and space them correctly and properly in the dark, even with the fact that 2 of our team leaders don't even have night vision at all. So I thought that was very impressive. If anything, I was slightly misoriented to the road that we were supposed to ambush. And as I was trying to go down the line to see that, hey, is everybody here? I managed to try and find my way through the dinosaur grass and all, and yeah, they were all lined up. They were spaced more or less correctly in team continuity. When they came up and assaulted, they did very well. I think another consistent issue I think we seem to have. So after we picked up, we did the loud, pretty good fire. Loved it. Just the flashes and everything. However, as we came up and assault through, we still had people like enemy. However, we had expended almost all of our ammunition. So just as part of like another ambush planning factor that you always have to do, hey, during that last roar, because I mean, in the end, and even in real life missions, you still need enough ammunition to get back home in case you got in a firefight on the way back. Just because the ambush happened doesn't mean you're sitting in the fob relaxing and drinking a beer or something. So just, hey, next time, maybe it's just part of a brief or a SOP, and I think I mentioned this previously. Hey, we use one magazine for the loud roar, and then after that, we'll assault through or, take carefully aimed shots or something like that. So just, yeah, so just timing that, making sure those, we've talked about this, and this is just another example of how that, reflected. That was it. I got another small thing. So with the linear danger areas, if you're like one of the first elements like going through, don't just immediately stop the second you get into cover. You have like a 50 to almost like 100 meters of people behind you. So if you're like the front element, like 2 Alpha or something, keep walking and walking and walking so other people will have room to go into the cover. If you just stand on like the edge right next to the security team, everybody's just going to be in a line on the road. That's it. Okay.
Well, one, I'm going to tell you, give yourself some credit here. I was the dead body you knelt down next to when you came out of the woods and stuff. You had excellent command and control of your elements that were out on there. That was great command and control. Antonio, what you got, man?
I got many positives and then one question. My fire team lead, John Day, did a great job of keeping his 2 knuckleheads, me and Reed, in line and in the right place, so good job. We were the tail element, so I didn't know that there were issues with the linear danger areas, because by the time we got through, it seemed like everything was squared and we just kept on, so I think that was a great improvement. Movement to everything seemed to go a lot better before. And lastly, we were on the far left flank of the support element. I thought our noise and light discipline was pretty good on that side, so that was pretty awesome. The only thing that confused me, and it's probably me not remembering it from the brief, were we supposed to lift and shift fire as the assault team went through?
Yes, please. Yes.
Here's your answer.
It was in the brief.
Actually, what he did.
I got 2 goods and 1 bad. Is that good?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so the first thing is that intra-fire team. We had
Let him speak, guys.
At least intra-fire team, I noticed extremely good communication. I was placed right next to John here, and during the initial roar, when we were letting fire off, when we had targets in sight and we were giving command to fire, I made sure to fire just enough ammo that he would have time to reload. He shouted reloading, I said covering, went through the rest of my mag, and we cycled back and forth until we were given the command to go forward.
Talking guns, I like it.
Yep.
Outstanding.
So that, was consistent throughout the entire push up. His weapon went down, and I went ahead and got in front of him and made sure to keep up, the aggressive activity of the attack, which that's the other thing. We were extremely aggressive today. Of course, everyone here should know I need 3 things to stack all odds in your favor in an ambush, and that is aggressivity, or balance of action, of course, speed, and surprise. And I think that finally, after 3 tries at this, even in the night, I think that we really nailed those 3 things down.
I wouldn't dispute that for a moment.
Bad thing is that, going back to communication, ironically, when his weapon went down, I think she was out of ammunition, and I had no idea, honestly, where Kev was. So I just went ahead and linked up with Alpha, because I knew I had ammunition, and somebody was clover leafing in the tall grass, and I said, well, I have ammunition. They're part of the assault team. I think I told, I'm not sure if I did. I think I told John, I'm moving forward. So I probably should have found my TL before doing that, but I wanted to get out there and, send rounds on that guy, because he was still basically clover leafing around and trying to shoot us.
Well, you know what? All's well that ends well, so that covers you. But yeah, you should have told the TL.
Yep.
What you got, man?
I think the assault was a lot more successful this time being part of the team than last time. Like previously mentioned,
it was only us that went out, and I think we did a really good job responding to when they gave us a signal to go out. It did get a bit confusing, I think, after we initially assaulted because we both ran out of ammo, and I think there was just, it got a little confusing because there's people rushing up and stuff, but overall I think it was a much better shit.
The good thing I would say was my team is incredibly violent, and they emptied their bag very quickly. Good. Bad thing, I wish I communicated more, because I realized I kind of just like abandoned you two there and didn't tell you I was on the other side of the shrubbery. Yeah, sorry, I should have.
John? The violence of action was fucking sexy. The way we opened up on them was incredible. And then, the signal to go out, we started dead checking guys. That was the right thing to do. And it was just, the overall ambush went almost fucking flawless pretty much. Besides a couple casualties, it sounded like. The bad was on my end from myself personally. I should have done better at checking my my weapon malfunction. I thought I had a bolt override. Instead, it was just a stovepipe with a double feed in the chamber. And from all my training over the years, I should have known better than to sweep the chamber better than that, than what I did. So, but I could have stayed in the fight after that a lot quicker than what I did.
All right, lesson learned. Dockery, what you got for me, man?
This thing is fucking awesome. once I got it going cyclic, I was going fucking in. And I know for a fact I smoked the first guy who took out the initial 2 casualties we had. And then when we gave Chase
you were one in that
pursuits
fighting
and
distance.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not going to shoot you because...
No, we fist bumped. So, but he was muzzle lined up with me. It was amazing.
So yeah, props. That was amazing teamwork. Great communication, great bounding. Whoever came to support us, if you didn't give me that extra magazine, I wouldn't be able to take them out. So good communication on that.
John also gave me an extra mag after his malfunction.
That was fantastic. Assault was flawless, in my opinion. One bad, we started off like one happened was I was point man and we were going in the tribe, and then all of a sudden, like because of the linear danger area, we ended up in the back, and Sugi didn't really know like where we were. She lost me for a second, so that happens in the nighttime. It's cluster club, but eventually LT sorted it out, put us right in the perfect position for the assault, and worked out. So this LSW is very, very good. Very pleased with it.
All right. Sugi, what you got for us?
A couple good things is that one, I got to shoot a lot more than the past 2 semesters, so I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I got empty home egg. And that we all live, that's great. I love that.
Generally a plus.
Yeah.
That's always good.
One bad thing would be, or a couple things, but one is that I should have grabbed those nods, the night vision, out of the car, and now Dad's gone, so I should have grabbed that. But I really mostly want to blame Dad because he's sleeping in a nice clean bed. So.
You know what?
Yeah, so
We're all cool with saying you blame Dad?
We won't tell. No one will tell.
Oh, damn straight. We're telling him as soon as he gets back. Yeah, he's not getting off that easy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Hey, Pugil sticks tomorrow, so
Yeah. And the other thing that was kind of bad was that I should have been better on accountability. And that was partially, he was saying that we got most big time loss on the what is it, crossing road or
Linear danger, yeah.
Thanks, that one. And that was also because I was a little messy and we kind of messed up there a little bit. But also, like, my ankle is just not like, well, no, it wasn't in pain, but like it's not like completely flat, and there's still like all that portrait and.
In this stuff, it's easy to roll one. Like I said before, I did that during the 40th. I know the pain you're in right now.
Yeah.
It can be distracting.
Just about every semester I rolled it in some way. So luckily not so far. Not
Fingers
bad.
crossed. All right. Kimball, what you got for me, man?
On the way there, well, a couple of bads and good, of course. On the way there, the spacing, I know it's nice, so you have to be a little closer together, but, and also this goes back to other lanes and other formations. Spacing can be better, more cognizant of that. And then also when you receive a hand signal, turn around, and make sure the other person lets you know that they've received it. So communication, I guess, that falls in communication. When we were being lined up for the patrol, they lined us up on the road so that you could just sort of draw a straight line into the woods. You could just walk into the woods. Was that you, Harris, that did that?
I was trying to get everybody organized so we could get a column to.
Yeah. So we were spaced out in the woods. We walked in. So then when we came out, we're in line. So that was great.
Cool. Young Jay?
So I'd like to start off with the bad because I have a lot of good. Like Reed said, I was the squad lead that went out and to check for Dockery after we couldn't find him. I should have taken one of my Jundies with me. Like you said, never do anything by yourself, and I did something by myself. I went through the entire line looking for him, and I couldn't find him, so I told Harris the issue, and then I went like 25, 50 meters back to try and find him.
Was in the front the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. But which comes from the issue of you got separated from the linear danger area.
Yeah, my assumption was I'll just go back to the previous position I was in.
Yep. And we've been doing this in Squad 1, which is we've always had a head count, and we know we're 12, and we had that accountability. But if we had a head count on the linear danger area, we would have known we didn't actually leave you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I take responsibility, but I think we should try and drill that in, that we always have a head count. I think that's essential and an important skill. Counting doesn't seem fun. It's hard to do at night, but it's the only way we can keep everyone together. And just the number of times I heard this person was lost or we couldn't find them at night, we have to keep accountability. And I think that's the number one thing I would back up.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to alcohol price. It's good and bad.
Y'all took us by pretty much total surprise, except for thermals, which is a thing in 2022. Yeah, barring that, you guys did an excellent freaking job with ambushing, and it was hats off to you guys for an aggressive and successful ambush.
Zero.
Yeah, again, just a second. What we've heard a lot, violence of action was really good. Security caught me going into the woods on their flank, and definitely did a good job on that. Also thought that the communication was good, trying to organize what was happening with the sweep or, pushing forward and clearing the area. And overall, I thought it was a real good job. And to second what you said, comms probably could have been a little bit better, but other than that, I got nothing bad to say. I think y'all executed it very, very, very well.
Well,
all right, hey, I'll start off with bad and always end up with the good. The only thing I seen out there was, you guys, when you get into the fight and you're getting that tunnel vision, you got to continue to listen to your chain of command. If they tell you to stop at a certain point when you're freaking coming out there to check that area, you gotta listen. I know everybody gets excited and shit, they want to go kill that last guy. You may not know, you may have left a lot, you're walking into another hasty ambush from the enemy. So when your guys are saying, don't go past the road, stay at the road. I know everybody wants to kill everybody, but you're coming up over that hill, you're actually silhouetting yourself, so the guy back there, if this wasn't Miles' armor, they're gonna put you down, all right? So just remember, I could hear him in the bush, him and I think Stewart saying, hey, we're only going to the road, just go to the road. You gotta continue, you gotta try to get out of that tunnel vision and start widening back out. I know it's real hard. Can't stress enough, I was just picking up my binos to see, and that goddamn ambush went off, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So you guys worked on it, everybody's touched on it again, violence of action, can't tell you enough. That being on that side of an ambush sucks balls, okay? It does. And in real life, I'm pretty sure we already talked about it, we'd all been dead. All right, I mean, real rounds coming down range, we ain't got to worry about hiding behind the goddamn tall grass. All right, you'd have killed the shit out of us. All right, so good job. A great step from this morning. All right, that clusterfuck that y'all had this morning, because some of these was first time, as into now, I believe, and I'm sure everybody's here can shake their head yes, that you guys have stepped above and beyond. Good to go?
Chris?
You're definitely positioned very well in cover. moving up, I could see people with thermals. I only saw 2 people. I knew there was an ambush, but I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, oh, I only see 2 people. And then the one shot goes off, and all of a sudden I see 12 people, like moving up like this. I was like, wow, you guys are really taking cover. That was pretty good. Second thing was that somebody yelled at some point, like, there's still 2 on the left. I don't know if thought I was in a bush, and I thought I was pretty well hidden. I was wondering if somebody had thermals.
Yeah. On the left flank, we had
Okay, so I was like, dang, how did you see me over there?
So we started late, so we're hanging down.
Thermals are cheating, isn't it? Thermals are cheating. It's great. So, good move.
Hank. No, you can say we're just going in order. Okay. Say what you saw as the guide.
Okay. Well, pretty much everything you've already hit on, and they've harped on themselves already. The only thing I can see from the back of your ambush site, after the fight kicked off, do you know where your left and right sector fire is? If you don't know, show your hand. Raise your hand. You guys don't know? Okay. You don't?
I didn't know where the furthest left was.
Okay. That's gonna be an issue, especially in the dark. During the day, you might be able to see your buddy's boots, but at nighttime, all you can see once the fire kicks off is going to be the muzzle flash on the road. And what's your most natural reaction? Shoot at it. Yeah. And if your buddy is right behind the tree trunk, 3 meters in front of you at a 15-degree angle, you're not going to be able to see it, right? No. Your 3 casualty, 1 or maybe 2 of them is very possibly from fracture side. Remember, your ambush is not in a very perfect linear fashion. You have your troops closest to the road. You might have your command element or someone else further back. And the guys staying in the back need to be very cautious, knowing that you have friendly in front of you. So during the firefight, if you're not sure, you have a very clear line of sight with a wide enough angle to not shoot your own buddy, hold your fire. Otherwise, your buddy might be popping their head out of the tree just by 1 foot. Now you just shot them. Okay? That's all I got.
Dude, didn't see night vision well, but me being in the back of formation and immediately seeing our guys, seeing the symphony of fire open up, drop down, and just kind of like, oh well, this is not a fucking good day for us, right?
Did you roll like 10 meters?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. So I saw that happen.
So he's from Florida. He's around alligators a lot.
So I did roll, and I felt like that was seen, and
it was
good. Excellent. Okay. So I felt like we were skyline pretty high. Me being the rear formation, me standing up would have been a death sentence on my end, and that certainly happened. So well done, guys. The speed, violence of action was well executed, and the consolidation of tasks where you had your teams committed to their actual efforts, where your assault team moved forward, you conducted SSC and conducted further actions. Your support team and your security team did their jobs of, calling out those commands, calling out those call-outs for troops, like other folks that had managed to survive, right? So, excellent job across the teams. You maintained your task and, executed that ambush successfully. So, well done.
Amy here was your higher headquarters on the radio. Tell us what you got from your perspective.
So, one thing that I noticed is that I did not get really much information fed back to me. It's very important for you to be giving updates along the way in case you run into an ambush or in case you make contact with the enemy as you're setting in. If you do that, you guys are getting your asses whooped. We can send out reinforcements, we can do stuff like that. You never know when the 6-man team you're about to ambush is really just the feelers for a 30-man platoon coming up the road. So that's all I really think you guys need to work on was keep talking to higher, let them know where you are when you hit your RP, when you hit your ambush site, when you reconsolidate. Have your RTO be calling me, doing all that stuff. PL doesn't need to tell me that. That's about it.
That's a good point. RTO, there are certain things you can take initiative on. When course, you're all firing the fights and all that, and blah 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 blah. When you start sending out the assault teams and the search teams and all that, you know, RTO, you can just automatically report that in. You know what I mean? That's important to hire on it, especially with the political situation I gave you at the beginning of the scenario and the mission orders. You can guarantee on a mission like this, you got multiple levels above you listening in. Okay?
No, Les, Harris didn't get one. Me and Harris didn't get one. I want to hear what he said. What Harris just said. We didn't do it. We didn't do it one up and down.
You talking about bad?
We didn't do it one up
One
or
good,
down.
one bad, or both, whatever you got.
Okay. All right.
What do you want from me?
All right. You go first. I got them.
Yeah, I'll let you do this. The end there. One bad things that happened. Random things happened that were bad. I did random shit, and I got fucking vibe checked for it. Whether it was from fratricide or not, I definitely paid for like losing focus and doing random shit. I was thinking about something stupid or something, and I died. What's good is this. For people who see each other like twice a year, and some people who've never met before at all, that've never done anything like this, we like literally had a successful ambush in the middle of the night with, I don't know, it's just, how could you not be impressed with like that sort of deal?
You should be proud of yourself.
So yeah, like we all do stupid shit, but like at the end of the day, like it's incredible we even did this.
What you got?
Good. Again, I'm just impressed. Everybody seems like they know what they're doing, even for the first timers. Like y'all are very well squared away. Bad. I think noise discipline could have been up, and light too. I think somebody had a visible light.
What was that?
There's a white light.
It was one of the guys on our team mistakenly
unfucked it very
we
quickly.
had it basically covered. We did what we could.
Yeah.
It took us a couple minutes to unfuck it. And
I saw it like going around. I'm like, do they know what they're doing? And then
we were working on it.
It's fine. And then there was noise discipline issues up until, I don't know, I guess people started seeing silhouettes and then they stopped moving, which is a little bit late in my book. You know, that's
Somebody broke a limb or something.
There was
I heard
several
that
of
one.
those.
I heard that, a cough, and a white light.
All right, guys.
Hey, and one last thing for me. Some of y'all know what I do for a living. Bunch of thieves out there stealing my goddamn ammo. Good on you.
All right, so to wrap this up, I'm gonna say I was super impressed with that. I was super impressed. That was a well executed ambush. You guys had some problems. You clearly overcame them. I know I died in a hail of gunfire. I'm proud of myself because I got all my rounds off and was running away at that point after charging into your lines. But I died very quickly and stuff. We all died. You know, so you got 100% kill ratio. Not bad.